Geeta on that issue of G20. Dr. Jaishankar made it very clear. Jammu and Kashmir was, is and will remain an integral part of India, and G20 sessions will happen in every part of India. Only issue to discuss with Pakistan is vacation of POJK, including Gilgit and Baltistan. Again, Pakistan and China called out on CPEC, Geeta.
Well, absolutely, Gaurav. He not only very clearly and firmly has informed in many words than one Pakistan that G20 meetings are going to be held in Srinagar, and not just Srinagar or Kashmir, that there needs to be a realization within Pakistan on when will they answer as to when are they going to vacate the occupied territories. Now that again is significant, like Shiv was just saying. It was an extensive interview to India Today where Bilawal Bhutto-Zardari did mention this, and to a question on whether if he keeps harping on the United Nations Security Council resolution, will Pakistan withdraw troops from Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, he did say that, well, they are going to adhere to all of the clauses of the resolution, which means he himself will have a lot of answering to do back home. I do not know whether he had the clearances from the establishment to actually make that commitment. Having said that, the Indian side has made it very clear to Pakistan that there is a reason why the G20 presidency and the way India is projecting all its states is important, and Jammu and Kashmir being an integral part of India cannot be missed when it comes to planning and preparing for the G20 and the meetings being held across the length and breadth of the country, including Jammu and Kashmir.
What's extremely interesting also, and you know, a word of caution here, Geeta and Shiv, stay with me. General Meston, we've already had a number of terror strikes, but all south of Pir Panjal, which would indicate that Pakistan is also carefully calibrating what India is doing in Jammu and Kashmir. But the fact that a G20 meet will happen in Jammu and Kashmir and in Kashmir, could Pakistan escalate? And is there a real threat? Because we are the presidents, India has the presidency of G20 this year, India has the presidency of SCO this year, and Pakistan would want Kashmir to remain in global headlines, General.
No doubts, Gaurav. I had already mentioned sometimes back that the terrorism activities by Pakistan will substantially increase in J&K, and of course, very rightfully, it is south of Pir Panjal. Not only that, even China is now going to be having more of so-called, border incursions. We have had a few examples, so I visualize even that way. Coming on to one point, if I can highlight, coming on to SCO, I must highlight that as a colonel, I was the first Indian officer as a military leader, as a delegation leader, to go to China to attend the first peacekeeping exercise in 2005. And if you see the goals and charters of the SCO, the first 3 paragraphs by and large talk about the security concerns to the SCO member states.
Yes.
And in that, it talks about few very important aspects. One is, terrorism, separatism and extremism needs to be addressed on top priority, and multilateralism to maintain security, peace and stability in the SAARC countries. Now, why I'm talking about this very important aspect. Yes. When this exercise was done, the entire setting of the exercise, the troops were only from Russia and China, was exactly on this, that a military intervention was done in a state. This exercise was done in Shandong Peninsula of China, and the narrative was, the important aspect is, the narrative was that military intervention in a state which has been besieged by terrorists.
Okay.
What I'm trying to link up is, you look at Afghanistan.
No, you're absolutely right. And Afghanistan is one issue we will talk about. But Shiv, last 30 seconds that I have on this part of the show, very, very critical for India to ensure supremacy at the LAC. And General, if I may, we need to ensure supremacy at the LOC, at the LAC and in the hinterland, given July is the SCO summit and September is the G20 summit. General,
you're asking me?
Yes, last 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely, very right. And therefore, I can now just finish that previous point. Today, terrorism or the Taliban is sitting in Afghanistan. Why the SCO member states are not, especially China and Russia and Pakistan? Why is the Chinese foreign minister today going to he'll be going now to Islamabad and having a trilateral with Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Yes.
On one, they are recognizing that means the terrorism, and on one hand the
and this is why External Affairs Minister was very right in calling out, exposing Pakistan